Hey everyone, this is episode 5 of the video series. If you haven't watched earlier episodes, you can go back and watch those. So guys, we have covered subqueries and CTEs. Now we are covering window functions. So let's see how it works. You can see on my screen. I won't start with this statement and all. Let me show you like what is window function, why it is used, step by step, why this is much easier than what we will do. So I have created this table, sales transaction. Okay, so this is our sales transaction table. This table have like employee name, department, region, sales rates, and sale amount which they have made. What if I tell you to find total sale every employee have made and I want that amount present here? So how will you do it? For example, okay, so Amit have sold 2000 plus 2000, 4000 of sale, so total amount will be 4000 and 4000. Then forensically it will be 6 5 1100 1100 like this. So how will you do it? Whatever you have learned till now, what you will do is, so first what you will do is, first you will find sale of every person. Like, then what you will do is, then you will think that okay, we found the total sum, now we have to place it with each row. So how can you do that? Then you will use CTE with statement temp as. uh, Now what you will do is, okay, now you have to place some of each functions here, right? So you will, join with this table as sales, inner join, temp as T as S. Okay, on what? We are joining on what? We are joining on employee name. Employee name, copy field name. S dot name equals to T dot employee name. And what we want is select S dot star comma P dot uh, 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 sales amount as some EU total sum. So you will extract total sum from here. So if you run this, so yeah, so you have done it, right? Total sum of every employee 4000. Now Anjali 1100. So what was the disadvantage you were facing here? So the main disadvantage you faced here is when you do aggregate function, it it will do the aggregation, but it will give you only one result of that aggregation. So if I aggregate for Amit, it will only give me one row ID for Amit, one row ID for Anjali, one for Rahul, one for Rohan, one for Sneha. But we want multiple results. We want result for every record, right? So that is the disadvantage of aggregate functions. So what if there is a easier way to do this? So what is that easier way? So window function is like aggregate function pro max. Let me show you how it works. So window function operate on a set of rows and return a value for each row in the result set. Like I told you, unlike aggregate function, window function do not group rows into a single output. Window function gives us result for every record. In simple terms, they are functions that operate by creating virtual windows within the dataset. Now, this concept of windows. So before that, So this is our normal table. So select star from sales transaction. In sales transaction, the data is sorted on the base of what transaction ID. So it have like 29 transaction, and each transaction have what the employee name, department, region, and what is the sale amount of that person. All the employee name data is like together right now. Okay. So what happens when we do aggregation? So let's say we are grouping on the basis of what employee name and department. All the data where Anjali is, it will be combined together and it will create a sum. So we are doing sum, right? Sum on what sales amount. So Anjali's total will be this, and Rahul total will be this, Amit will be this. So aggregate function is giving us one value for each grouping. So Anjali from clothing have a sum of this. Rahul of clothing have a sum of this. Now what happens in window function is, what window function will do is it will take this simple table, and it will create micro partitions inside this table. Okay. So we will define like on which basis we want the partition. So what it will do is it will take this normal table and it will create partitions inside it. In window function, we will say like we want partition on the basis of employee and department. So all the Anjali records you can see right here, Anjali, Rahul, Amit. So data got grouped on the basis of the employee name and department. Then data will look like this. Okay. Now, like these micro partitions are being made inside this table. So now this partition have nothing to do with this partition, and all are individual, windows inside this, or individual micro partition, or individual table inside it. Like there are multiple table created inside it, virtual table. So this data has nothing to do with this, nothing to do with this. Okay, all are individual. What we were doing was we were doing sum of sales amount, and we created partition on the basis of employee name and department. Now what it will do is it will calculate the total sum of this, and it will uh you know give that value to every row of that uh partition. Okay, same thing here, same thing here. Okay, so this is how window function to work. Now let's see how we have to write our query for window function. First we have select, then here we can provide like multiple columns, any amount of column we can provide here. Then we provide our window function query. Here what we do is normal aggregate function sum on the basis of what sales amount. Then inside this over we pass our arguments. So first thing what we pass is we pass the values of partition. We want to do partition on the basis of what employee name and department. It will then create partitions like this. Data is partitioned this way, right? And so I formatted data in this order because so that you can see it properly. Or if I don't do this order by, this department will be jumbled up. So inside over we give partition by, and there is another argument which we have to pass, that is order by. So what that order by argument does is, so before that let me tell you that whatever we are doing inside this over, that will happen inside this partition only. Okay, what I mean to say is, so this order by is affecting the whole table, right? But the order by which we will provide here will only affect partition individually. Here you can see, so here we have provided what order by. So we are doing order by on the sales date. So inside each partition we can see that it has ordered data on the basis of what this date 1 2 5 7 9 8 4 3 8 2 4. It is not like, right, you can see that it is not like all the first is together. Anything inside this over by will affect these partition individually, not like a whole table. So this order by will affect the whole table, and this order by and partition by will only affect a partition individually. Okay, now what happens with this order by? Let's see. So when we provide order by sales date, So there is this concept in SQL that is running sum. Okay, so right now we can see that we haven't provided order by here. So it is giving us like total, it created total of all of this and it is giving us same for all the records. But when we do running sum, what it will do is it will gradually increase the sum. So first it will take 500, total sum will be 500. Then it will add that 500 to our next record, 500 plus 600, 1100. Then 650 will be added, 800. So same way we can see that it has created running sum inside all the partitions. So this is what order by does. Okay, so now, so inside order by, what we have to provide a unique value. Okay, so like sales date, we can see our date column is gradually increasing, so it will create a gradually increasing sum. What if we pass employee name inside uh order by? Let's see. So if we pass, okay, so this is our data looks right now, and if we pass employee name inside it, you can see like nothing happened. It created a total of all this, and it have given that value to all the records. So nothing happened when we don't pass a unique value. Same way, if I pass department, same thing will happen. Nothing will happen, right? You can see same thing. Now you will be thinking like sales amount is a unique column. What if we pass sales amount inside this? Okay, let's pass sales amount inside this. So if we pass sales column which have like, which is not gradually increasing or which is not unique, so what will happen is that here you can see that it have combined all of this together, created aggregation, then 6,000, 6,000, 6,000 for all these, then 6,000 plus 5,000, 11,000. Same way you can see here like 500, 600, and you can also see that our date is jumbled up, like 12th is here, 4 to 8. So this doesn't make any sense. Running sum is made for this thing, like doing sum gradually, right? So it won't make any sense if you apply it on these kind of columns. You have to do a running sum on a column which is gradually increasing, like this sales rate. Okay, 2, 4, 8, 12, right? So this makes much sense. On 4th, his total sum will be 4,000. Then on 8th, his total sales was 5,000. And like eh, at the end of the month, you can see the total amount of sales Amit have made. So this is what running sum is for. Okay. Okay. So you got it now. The types of window function. So whatever aggregate function you have used, you can combine them with window functions. Like you can do sum, you can do average, count, min, max. Okay, so these all things you can do. uh I will suggest you to try all of these here. Okay, so now we have ranking functions. So what ranking function does is, so ranking functions, we have three kind of ranking functions. So we have row number, rank, and dense rank. So they work same way as our aggregated window functions. We will write our ranking function like row number, then we will do over, then on which column we want to do partition, and order by, we have to do order by on what. So for ranking function, this is the main column, order by. So here we will provide the column on which we want to do the ranking. Okay, earlier you saw that we were doing order by on sales date, but here we are doing order by on sales amount. Why is that? Because it doesn't make any sense to do ranking on a date column. Okay, so let's say this is our sales date. So okay, so this date is gradually increasing, 1257. Okay, there is no point ranking in this, it doesn't make any sense. So but if we do ranking on like sales amount on columns which are factual, like this is the price of this product, so we can do ranking on a price of a product, but not on a date. Okay, it is logically correct to rank this. So 600 is greater than 500. 800 is greater than 650. So here ranking will make sense, but not with our date column. So that's why we are using order by on sales amount. Okay, let's see. I have copied this data on this Excel sheet, and let's see how our ranking function is working. So these two like tables are same. So it is just that we have added these three columns extra, these ranking functions. Okay, this was the running sum which you learned, right? Okay, so I have removed total sales because it was getting confusing. Now you can see that row number we have given 1 2 3 4. Now it is order, it got ordered on the basis of what, our sales amount. So sales amount is now gradually increasing 5,600. So it gave us 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 like this. So row number will just give us you know number for our rows. Now let's see the rank. Okay, so here you can see that we have 3 2000, right? So all of these are ranked as number 1. Okay, now for 5000 it has given what rank, rank as 4. Because what rank does is, like, for same values it will give the same rank, but it will skip the number of values. Like, it has given to all 3 2000 like number 1 rank, but then this 5000 will be what, 4th. So this is how ranking works. So here you can see it has given rank what, 1 2 3 4, because it is just gradually increasing. For Amit, it has given 1 2 3 3. Okay, so like these both are same. So but next rank what it will give is 3 4. It will give 5 to the next if there were one more record. So now next we have dense rank. So does dense rank does this, it does not skip a rank. So here you can see Anjali 2001 then for 5000 give 2, like this will be second, these all three will be first, and this will be second. Same way it will do for rest of the columns. So this is how ranking function works.